This is music, and these are the CDs I was waiting for. In a previous video, I mentioned that I was waiting for a package from Germany, and a package from Germany did arrive, but that turned out to be something I had pre-ordered from Diabolic Might Records, so I was kind of surprised to see that what I thought was going to be a small stack of CDs turned out to be a small stack of vinyl instead. Now, the other day, and I'm shooting this in June 2025, just for, time reference, I guess. The other day, the original package actually did arrive, and I'm going to show you what was in that package in this video. Now, this was a small stack of CDs I bought from DSB Versand in Germany, and they do things a little bit differently. As far as I understand, their stock is kind of spread over different warehouses around town. So it takes them a little bit longer to process orders, which is not a problem to me. It teaches us patience. They also have this interesting system where for the items in your order, you can list alternatives and then, roughly the same price. And then if they don't have the original items, they will send you one of the alternatives. And that's a different system to be sure, but it turned out to work to my advantage. So I'm not complaining at all. Anyways, let's have a look at the items. Starting out with the only cassette tape in the hall. It's this one here, Phantom Blue, Built to Perform. This is a band that I have never heard, but I've heard a lot of good things about them, and I've heard that this album is supposed to be absolutely great. So I decided to pick it up on cassette tape. Now, the outer case is a little bit damaged, as you can see right there. Not a problem. I will probably replace it at some point. Yeah, since it's open, let's have a look at the shell and the J card and all that stuff. Here's the shell with the Geffen logo. There should be a blast from the past to those of you who were around in the 80s and the 90s. The J card itself looks like this. As you can perhaps see, they are all ladies. So that was a little bit unusual in the 80s and 90s when most rock and metal bands, it was basically, the scene was one big sausage party and there was probably too much sausaging going on. So, it's always nice when you had the occasional band where, you had ladies in the band or they were all ladies and fantastic musicians. And I think, as far as I understand, that's the case with this one. It's supposed to be really good. So I look forward to giving that a listen. Let's turn to the CDs. Up first, Afterworld, Darkness in Mind. Supposedly, this is traditional heavy metal with kind of just like dark vibes to it. And I look forward to giving this a listen for sure. The artwork looks mildly inspired by H.R. Geiger, and maybe that's why it reminds me a little bit of the old Dark Seed games. I look forward to giving that a listen. Up next, we have this one here, Arrest Incarcerated. So they kind of have a prison theme going on. Uh, this is a complete blind buy, but just a band called Arrest, an album called Incarcerated. It's too good to pass up. Up next, we have this one here, Drunk Shouter, or is it? No, it's Shout Drunker, sorry, by Eizo Sakamoto, Staring into Your Soul. Anyways, I gotta be honest, I've only heard a couple of seconds from one song, but it kind of intrigued me, piqued my curiosity, so I decided to pick this one up, on the rare occasion that I actually saw this one in Europe. So I definitely look forward to giving this a listen. Now, originally there was another cassette tape in the order, uh, and that was a cassette tape I thought would be fun to have in my collection, but as one of the alternatives, I listed an album I actually had been wanting to add to my collection on CD or vinyl for quite a long time now. And it turned out they didn't have the cassette tape, and they actually sent me the album Mallet Head, which is an album that I actually wanted. So, uh, cassette tape I thought would be fun to have versus a CD I actually wanted, and I ended up getting the CD. That's a win to me. So this is just straight up hard rocking heavy metal music, and yeah, I'm actually I'm happy they didn't have the cassette tape, to be perfectly honest, because I wanted this much more. So no complaining from me, that's for sure. Up next, some power thrash overdose, and this is Circus of Death. So kind of a mix of melodic thrash metal, power metal, and straight up heavy metal. Got a clown theme going on, or I guess a politician theme or whatever. And up last, a CD that is very difficult to find here in Europe, and I think generally it's difficult to find. It's this one here, Touch the Sun by Shoya, and it's from when Keiko was out of the band for a while. They had Stephanie, I think that's her. They had Stephanie on vocals. Stephanie from she did Hideaway and Pink Noise, and she was known for having this like big teased hair. Uh, I mean, it looks very 90s here though. Yeah, this is not an album you see very often. Certainly not in Europe. So obviously, I jumped at it when I saw they had it at DSB Versand. It was not cheap, but it was the cheapest that I had ever seen it so far. So I grabbed it. Of course, I did. I look forward to giving this a listen. It's supposedly more kind of like 90s sounding, but we'll see. I'm glad I have it in my collection. So there you go, a stack of CDs and one cassette tape. And these were the things I was waiting for, so that is great for now. Thanks for watching.